If your relationship is struggling, the last person you want to turn to is the Instagram relationship coach with the aura of insight, yet really absent of wisdom. In this video, we are going to break down this poor advice, learn how to avoid these simple solutions, and look at some frameworks and some perspectives that help us maintain, improve, and enhance our relationship without losing our sanity, self-respect, and dignity. My name is Mike Stroh. This is the Starts With Me channel. I hope you find this helpful. We are going to look at man relationship coach number 1. And I will comment on the perspective shared and the advice given. I want to make sure that I am criticizing the ideas here and not this person. I have no idea who this person is. My wife sent me this video and we had a good laugh about it. So I want to make sure this is not a criticism of this person. Again, this is a criticism of the ideas that they're sharing with people. I'm going to point out how unhelpful and destructive these ideas are, and I will share more helpful, thoughtful, empowering ways of going about these situations.
Hey babe, where are the scissors? Questions like this ruin the marriage. Here's why. It's because you're actually renting her brain for free. Imagine this. You ask the simple question, hey babe, where are the scissors? You'll ask it like it's a casual question, but underneath is a pretty dark pattern. You see, what you're doing is you're outsourcing your awareness to your woman. And so you're using her like a Google search rather than using your own brain. But here's the problem. Google has millions of servers to hold up all that information. Your wife only has one brain. And just like a server, if she is holding too much, she will crash. And if you want to take it just a little bit further, your behavior is not just lazy, it's kind of a little manipulative, even if you don't mean it to be. Oh, Alessandro, it's just some scissors. Why is this being manipulative? Well, a lot of men are developing a habit of just forgetting, being hopeless, because then their wives just step in and do it for them. They don't have to use any part of their brain. It's a little efficient. Just get her to do the work. But here's the problem. Every time you do this, you are draining her a little bit more. Men, I need you to remember this. It's not about the scissors. It's about the fact that she has to hold the whole damn map of the whole damn family and carry the whole mental load of it all because you're not there. Not mentally. Start learning where things are. Start putting things back where they belong using your own brain.
Just terrible. Seems wise, right? He's got a point. He speaks quickly. He outlines his hypothesis and his way of addressing this. Yet from the very start, this whole perspective way of looking at things is backwards and actually makes things worse. Okay, problem number 1. This person is suggesting that it's your responsibility for what goes on inside your wife's head. Now, I learned through teachers and psychology and effective communication that the number one most important thing is that we take responsibility for our feelings and not take responsibility for other people's feelings. Number 2, we take responsibility for our actions. Nobody can make you feel any way or make you do anything. Underlying those principles is this idea that I am, you are, we all are responsible to treat other people with dignity and respect. Notice the problem here? This person is saying you are responsible for renting space in your wife or your partner's head. No. Never. Nor is that person responsible for, or your partner responsible for you allowing them to exist in your head rent-free. So let's simplify this. If you ask your partner where the scissors are, they have a choice. They do not have to let you offload your cognitive capacities onto them. They can say, I don't know where the scissors are. You deal with it. Or they can say, I don't know. Where did you last put them? Or whatever. But our partner is responsible for how they take that information. So right off the bat, this person is doing a double negative. They're telling your wife, in this case, that she's not responsible for her feelings and her behavior and her cognitive load, that her husband is, and that every time he asks her where something is, he's doing her a disservice, or he's manipulating her or hurting her or whatever. And that's total madness. Madness, madness, madness. We need to, I will repeat it again. Number one, take responsibility for our feelings, not take responsibility for other people's feelings. Take responsibility for our actions. No one can make you feel any way or make you do anything. Number three, ensure that we are being responsible to treat other people with dignity and respect. I may repeat that a couple more times just to drill home that idea. Problem number 2 with this video.
For free. Imagine this. You ask the simple question, hey babe, where are the scissors? You'll ask it like it's a casual question, but underneath is a pretty dark pattern. You see, what you're doing is you're outsourcing your awareness to your woman. And so you're using her like a Google search rather than using your own brain. But here's the problem. Google has millions of servers to hold up all that information. Your wife only has one brain. And just like a server, if she is holding too much, she will crash. And if you want to take it just a little bit further, your behavior is not just...
Okay, here we go again. He is implying that you are responsible for what your wife is doing with her brain and her behavior. Now, remember, we are responsible to treat our partners with dignity and respect. Now, in this scenario, yes, it is possible and perhaps even noble to not ask where the scissors are. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. It's important, though, that you remember that you are responsible for your shit. So if you want to find the scissors, you go find the scissors. Or in this case, if you're the spouse or the partner who's the one who knows where things are or tends to be more organized, it's your job not to get the scissors or to do it happily. But this person, again, in this video is implying that you're doing something wrong by asking, and that the person being asked is having this terrible burden being imposed on their cognitive load. I mean, it's so ridiculous. So ridiculous and disempowering. Okay, let's get back to the video.
Not just lazy, it's kind of a little manipulative, even if you don't mean it to be.
Now, I will be the first to admit, when I ask my wife where things may be, at times I think I probably am being a little bit lazy, or just perhaps impulsively asking her without taking a moment to consider if I know where they are myself. So I might give them a little tiny bit of credit there. Although that truth has nothing to do with this idea of emotional responsibility and boundaries between what is ours and what is not ours. So that's the reminder. And I also have to reiterate, this concept is not a license to be an asshole. So just because I'm not responsible for your feelings doesn't mean I can be a jerk and treat you poorly. That's point number 3. We're responsible to treat each other with dignity and respect.
Oh, Alessandro, it's just some scissors. Why is this being manipulative? Well, a lot of men are developing a habit of just forgetting, being hopeless, because then their wives just step in and do it for them. They don't have to use any part of their...
Again, do you see that? What is he doing again? He's abdicating responsibility from the wife or the partner for their behavior and their feelings. Here is where he should make it very clear. If you are the wife, then your job is to say, screw you. You go find the scissors yourself, you lazy punk. That's what my wife says to me all the time. Stop blaming me. I don't know where they are. You deal with it. And she has learned through similar teachings. She's also a therapist. We're both therapists, to learn how to deal with her own shit and not allow me to impose my stuff on her. So what this person is trying to teach you is that the other person is responsible for your crap. And funny enough, this came up on my wife's Instagram feed because this person is probably trying to market, or the algorithm suggests that this type of information will be swallowed up gleefully by the resentful wife who blames their partner, or the resentful husband, whoever it is, who blames their partner for their problems, rather than learning how to take responsibility for our feelings and our behavior and to treat other people with respect, including ourselves, in that dynamic. So important to honor this concept. Every client I've ever worked with, myself included, all my teachers, great teachers of the ages, the Stoics, the Buddhists, nobody, absolutely nobody encourages making other people responsible for how you feel and what you do. It's madness, total madness, unhelpful. We have to see through this superficial wisdom. Let's get back to the video.
Brain. It's a little efficient. Just get her to do the work. But here's the problem. Every time you do this, you are draining her a little bit more. Men, I need you to remember this. It's not about the scissors. It's about the fact that she has to hold the whole damn map of the whole damn family and carry the whole mental load of it all because you're not there. Not mentally. Start learning.
Okay. Again, who's he blaming? Who's he making responsible for where the scissors are? The person who's asking where they are. And then he's assuming that the other person is doing all these things. And I get this is a super choppy, well-cut video, and there's nuance to this, and this person's not here to defend their ideas and their advice. Let's set that aside. We are responsible for our behavior, and we're responsible to treat people with dignity and respect. So it's okay to ask where the scissors are. If it's a pattern of yours where you honestly are abdicating responsibility onto the other person in the relationship, then yeah, you got to smarten up and stop doing that. And if you're the person who is taking on too much of this responsibility, then you also have to smarten up and to stop doing that. If I'm going to pick up after someone and complain about it and get fed this nonsense by this person or people like this, that somehow I'm being manipulated by my partner because they're lazy and selfish and whatever, how is that going to help me? Crazy. Okay? So if you're the person on the other side of the scissor situation, it's your job to not put up with the bullshit, to call out your partner and tell them to stuff it, or tell them you are no longer going to do all these things, and then impose the consequences on them. And that's where you have power. That's where you honor your dignity and respect. In some sense, you also honor the other person's dignity and respect that they're capable of figuring it out for themselves. Hold that line, take responsibility, communicate clearly, and it really works. It really works. Let's watch the last few seconds here.
Where things are, start putting things back where they belong using your own brain.
Okay, well, maybe I can end it with another little agreement with this person. Yes, start using your own brain. Take responsibility for your behavior. Try to contribute to your shortcomings, address your shortcomings, acknowledge them to your partner. That generally leads to more effective, more intimate, more connection in your relationship. So, in closing, watch out for these superficially wise people lacking in substance and wisdom. Slow it down. Cheap advice like this will never get you anywhere. It takes work, it takes time, effort, consistent practice in order to address these things more effectively. Say no to superficial gurus, pop psychology nonsense. Go a little deeper. Seek more wise, sustainable, evidence-based feedback, suggestions, guidance. And I promise you, your life will change. It certainly helped mine. I've certainly seen it help many, many other people. If you found this video helpful, please like it, comment on it, share it with someone else who you think might find it helpful. I hope I said subscribe to this video. I sincerely appreciate you taking the time to watch. Take it easy. Peace out. I am very grateful that you watched to the end of this video. Please click one of the boxes to watch more of our content, and otherwise have a great day. Peace out.